How's it going, ladies and Bruce? I'm Bobby Sixkilla, and welcome back to X Corners. It's time to get into chapter 13, The Garden, specifically Beth's garden. Let's see what that's all about, shall we? For like 20 minutes and then we'll see an entirely new crazy thing happen. I'm getting used to that pattern now, I'm looking forward to it. Who knows what's going to happen next. No thank you. Beth? The old woman refused to speak. Come on, say something. You've got us worried. Beth, adamant in her silence, shot Ink a cold glare. So is she just going to sit there forever? Ink stepped away from the tree. He was worried about Beth, but felt that his prodding fell on deaf ears. The other contestants seemed happy to leave her alone. Would it kill someone else to go talk to her? Anyone? You have any idea what's up with her? Well, she said the garden was hers. I guess she has, or had, a garden that looked a lot like this one. That's my best guess, anyway. It must have meant a lot to her. Yeah. The room grew quiet, save for the sound of Ray stomping through foliage. Sounds like Ray. I don't like this place. Even Liza was quiet. She was whispering, which Ink figured was a first for her. I've never whispered before. You can talk quietly? Why didn't anyone tell me? What, you don't like plants? They're listening to me. They're listening in. They're plotting against me. Do you not feel it? Something about this whole room is wrong. I don't want to linger here any longer than we need to. Alright everyone, listen up. I just had a tour of this place. Yeah, we heard. Did you find anything? All the walls are just painted concrete. Solid all the way around, as far as I can tell. There's only one door in here, and that's the one we came through. So unless there's a hidden door somewhere, we need to head back to where we came. It's a dead end then. Remember what Sent said about the 4 elements? There are 4 pathways, each of which lead to a corner. Then this room must be a corner. Huh. And each corner has a key. At least, that's what Sent said. The problem is that I have no idea where the key is or even what it looks like. Did your cursory search turn up any puzzles? Not yet. There's a monitor at the back, but right now it's just a blank screen. Anything else of note? Those are the biggest mushrooms I've ever seen in my life, so that's something. Guess you never played Morrowind then. Yeah. Other than that, no, nothing obvious anyway. Beth might know. Vinny's secrets, I mean. If this is her garden, she'd know it from the front to back. Right? Yeah, you'd think so. She doesn't seem like she wants to help very much. All eyes turned to Beth. But nobody moved. Everybody's afraid to talk to her. Ink was no exception. He had always considered Beth the most grounded of the group, which, what was he to do when their most well-adjusted member shut herself down and refused to communicate? I don't know if she's the most well-adjusted. When everyone started turning on each other, she was right there turning on each other with them. The most well-adjusted members of the group are Ink and Ether. I mean, that's obvious, right? Everyone else is at each other's throats constantly. The other contestants appeared to share Link's apprehension. Even Ether seemed to wait for someone else to make the first move. Well, someone needs to say something or we'll never get out of here. Ink took an awkward step forward. Fine, I'll have a word with her. Ink reached out to her. Alright, Beth. We're a dapper looking motherfucker, I see. I know you I mean, you see them at the end of this, the puzzle solving thing, but that angle really gives it away, you know? I know you probably want some time to think, but we need your help now. Take good care of the garden. It's the last thing he said to me. You mentioned that. For what it's worth, I did take good care of it. I didn't muck that up at least. But it wasn't easy, you know. No, it wasn't easy at all. It's an impressive sight, the garden, I mean. I'm sure it took a lot of work. Do you have a favourite book, Ink? That I do. And how many times have you read that book? 7 times, I think. Maybe 8. What do you think would happen if you read it 1,000 times? You get fucking bored of it, I imagine. I don't know. I don't think it would be my favourite book anymore after that. I never thought about it. I mean, if I watched my favourite movie 1,000 times, probably wouldn't want to watch it ever again. If you repeat the same task for long enough, my dear, you start to go mad. Things are so trite, so stagnant, that your brain begins to see changes where there are none. Wasn't this hedge in a different spot yesterday? Was this how the rocks under the tree were arranged? Did I tear this mushroom by accident, or was it always like this? Sounds awful. And that's not where it ends either. When your mind rots for a time, your body follows suit. Even simple tasks, watering a flower, pulling a weed, become debilitating if you do them for decades on end. Then why didn't you stop? Why did you keep at it for so long? Because his son asked you to, and shit? Ink trailed off as Beth finally stood up. Her skin was pale, her eyes red. Because it's all I had left. What's she going on about? You haven't been able to put two and two together then, Mr. Ink. I thought you were the detective of the group. Is this really your garden, Beth? I'm afraid I can't answer that. My garden no longer looks like this, even if it were still alive. There's no way it could have been transferred to the four elements in such perfect condition. By all accounts, this place should not exist. It simply isn't possible. Beth collapsed. She writhed about for a moment, then brought her hand to her nose, just in time to catch a fistful of bloody phlegm. Oh, it's time for her to do the thing. Beth! First me, then Liza, now Beth? We must all have it then. But is there something specific that triggers it? Beth took a moment to wipe the blood from her face before standing back up. Her legs were shaking. I don't quite understand it, but I'm happy. I never thought I'd see this place again. How could Saint do this? Why would he do this? I don't know, Beth. Ink wanted to ask her about the garden, about the key. But bit his tongue. He needed to choose his words carefully. In the centre, underground. What? I'll have you know that I've got excellent hearing. I know you're looking for a key, and while I don't know what it looks like, I feel I might know where it is. If this garden is indeed a replica of my own, then it does hold one well-kept secret. There is something hidden in my garden. Then that's where you'll find it, if there is something hidden in my garden. In the centre of the garden, beneath the earth. Got it. Thanks, Beth. Ink pulled away, only for Beth to grab his wrist. Ink. What is it, Beth? Whatever else you find under that tree. Please don't judge me. Is it your son? Oh my god, is your son down there? I wouldn't dream of it. Very well. Beth let go of his sleep. That's her son, it's gotta be. Put her hands in her lap and grew quiet once again. The others were staring at Ink. Will you guys help me dig up whatever's under the soil? Of course I will. Yeah, let's get sweating. The two of them made their way to the centre of the room, kicked aside a few stones and began to dig. At least they're eager enough to help with the dirty part of the job. Now all that's left is... Liza. You want me to help too? I can't force you, but you ought to. Manual labour isn't really my thing. Then what is your thing? Whatever. Can you at least pretend to be a decent human being and keep that poor woman company while we dig? That was a bit mean. It's like talking to a log. Fine, do whatever you want. Ink left Liza to her thoughts. That was a bit mean. Ray and... she's not that bad. She's just a spoilt kid. Ray and Ether are already hard at work digging. Ink moved to an untouched patch of soil and drove his hands into the earth. The soil was soft and cool to the touch. He grabbed a lump with both hands and threw it behind him. Pebble-peppered dirt found its way under Ink's fingernails as he continued to dig. He was panting before long, growing more tired with every uncovered inch. This is going to take forever. Oh, guys, over here. Ink stopped digging, hopeful that Ether had found something. I was digging right over here and eventually I hit something hard. At Ether's feet, in the hole she had dug, lay a small wooden chest, dirt clinging to its sides. Ink picked it up. What is it, some sort of box? Looks more like a chest to me. Doesn't look like any chest I've ever seen. What are those tabs at the top? No idea. Go on, open it. Useless. The lid was sealed tight. This must be the puzzle then. Usually it's that panel on the wall, but this looks like a puzzle box to me. No good, there's a lock in place. I'll smash it open then. That won't work. You won't be able to break it open. Not without tools. Open it for us then. You know how, right? I'm afraid not. This is your chest, isn't it? How could you not know? It appears that Sanders replaced the standard lock with some other mechanism. A puzzle? That's a safe bet, I'd say. Yeah. Definitely on brand. Well, if we don't know the solution, we ought to try busting this thing open. It'd be the fastest way to get the key. I'm pretty confident I could rip that thing in half. Surely that's breaking the rules. Saint will just blow up another one of those pillars. I would prefer it if you didn't. Beth, asking us to figure out how your stupid box works is a blatant waste of time. Would you mind giving it a try, Ink? You seem especially good at puzzle solving. Oh, thanks. Oh, ignore me. Fine. Real mature. As if we haven't been given enough puzzles for one day. Oh, I think we've got a lot more to go. Please, it would mean a lot to me. Be more cryptic, why don't you? I think we should do what she asks of us, I think. Sure, the chest is a little strange, but it doesn't look too complicated. Oh, come on. Let's break it open already. I refuse to spend my time toying with this woman's garbage. But Ray, I swear to God, Hank, if you waste our time on this stupid chest, I'll figure it out. We're not breaking it open. You'll blow up one of the things anyway. I'll figure it out. You fucking... Give me that. Calm down, Ray. This will take 5 minutes, tops. It won't make or break our escape. Beth is going through a lot right now, it seems. We can do this one little thing for her. Take any longer than 5 minutes and I'm going to wrestle it out of your hands and beat you over the head with it. Oh, and I won't be helping you. You're on your own, pal. Oh, wow. Oh no, we won't have Ray's help. His stunning intellect to save us. That's fine by me. Go for a walk or something. Ray left with an angry stride. Ink paid him no mind. Thank you, Ink. I appreciate it. This better be worth it, Beth. Alright, here we go. Does that mean we could actually skip the puzzle? If I'd done that, would that have skipped the puzzle? So, what does this do? Oh, okay, so it's one of the ones that it flips itself and all the ones adjacent to it. Okay, we've done these. I've done these before. Shouldn't be too bad, right? It's all about fucking around with the corners, usually. Oh man. This one? Okay, this could take a little while. This could take a little while. We're just going around in circles here. Oh, how did that work? When I move one, when some are already moving, it doesn't move them. You cheating bastard game. Well then. When it's already moving, you just click another one and it'll move without moving anything adjacent. But other than that, it's unsolvable. You dick of a game. Huh. Oh, did you get it? How'd you manage? I had to press on some of the tiles while the others were spinning, yeah. It was the only way to make them all the same colour. Strange. Doesn't it defeat the point of the puzzle? The puzzle has already been solved. Let's not dwell on it. Hey, you're the one who wanted us to solve it. The gloomy Beth shook her head. Ink's brow furrowed in confusion. Come on. Open it. The chest contained row upon row of neatly stacked bills. Resting at the top of the pile was a translucent keycard with a green insignia. That's the key. It must be, but there's got to be a couple of million in there. Is this your money, Beth? There was a silence for a time. I wish it weren't. I really wish it weren't. What, are you hiding from the revenue agency or something? It's tainted money. I want nothing of it. Where'd you score that kind of cash, Beth? Life insurance. Ah, condolences. Thank you. That's terrible. I'm so sorry, Beth. Say, Beth. What's wrong, Ink? Why do you have that look on your face? Because Ink knows something you don't. They usually don't give out life insurance for suicides, Beth. I'm aware. Then... The kids weren't insured, of course. But Ellen was. And her husband, too. What? Your daughter? When the walls of the house began to shake, I just froze up. I tell myself now that it was because I didn't quite understand what was happening. Earthquakes that fierce were almost unheard of out west, so none of the buildings had been built to withstand them. We had mere seconds to react. All 6 of us. Oh, Beth. The last thing I remember was seeing my granddaughter look up at the skylight half a second before the roof collapsed on top of her. Her face, her eyes, I'll never forget her scream. The bluntness and horror of Beth's account almost made Ink laugh. Thankfully, Beth was staring at the ground and never saw his smile. It disappeared from his face in an instant. How could I laugh at that? What's wrong with me? I woke up in a hospital bed with Earl standing over me. I've been unconscious for 3 whole months. They didn't expect me to wake up from that dreamless sleep. Honestly, I wish I never had. How is it that you and your son survived? The world saw fit to be cruel to me, I suppose. As for my son, he wasn't even there that day. I was watching over his daughter for him. Needless to say, I couldn't have done a worse job. Il wasted no time blaming me for what had happened, accusing me of saving myself instead of helping the rest of our family. I couldn't help but be angry right back at him. I told him if he'd been around that day, things might have gone differently. And that's why he killed himself, I see. We fought and fought until finally, furious that his daughter had been robbed of her future, he cut all ties with me. That was the last time I'd spoken to him. Until today. You never once tried to get back in touch with him? I contemplated it for a time. The insurance money was better left with him, I thought. I tried contacting him in the end, but he never returned my calls. I grew worried. Eventually, someone in his apartment complex complained about the stench. Il's body had begun to liquefy. Wait, what? Your son is dead? He never left a note, but I suppose he couldn't live with the grief. Why didn't you say anything sooner? I thought he was your contact. I'm afraid I can't explain that, but... I can't believe this. It was you who said that it'd be best if we didn't keep any secrets. You're saying that you believed me? If I'd mentioned my son's death and supposed resurrection, you'd have all written me off as a senile mess. Even now, I'm sure you don't believe what I just told you. I don't have an opinion of that yet. Well, that's my story. Belief or disbelief rests with you. Either way, I'm going to spend whatever time I have left missing my family. Or you could die. Or I could die. Sen, you leave right now. Beth let out a meek laugh, then couldn't help but follow up with a chuckle of his own. Huh? Why am I... Nitrous oxide, otherwise known as laughing gas. I imagine Sen has slowly been filling the room with it for the last few minutes. Very good, Beth, though I imagine that any self-respecting RN would deduce the same thing. Tell me, Beth, what happens after prolonged exposure to nitrous oxide? If you keep pumping it into the room, we'll soon be deprived of oxygen and pass out. And if you keep it up after that, everyone in the room will eventually die. What do you want, Sen? What do we need to get this door open? Oh, whatever do you mean? My wonderful ink. I haven't locked the door at all. I haven't even engineered any puzzles for this room. There's nothing to fear, really. Now that you've acquired the first key, I'll unlock the red door for you. You may head back to the main lobby whenever you're ready. He's right, the door isn't locked. Let's get the hell out of here. Before we die. Good idea. Okay. Ether held the door ajar as the other contestants proceeded to leave. One of them, however, didn't budge. Beth? I'm staying. What? Beth, if you stay, you'll... I know what'll happen if I choose to stay. Why? You don't want to die, right? Beth closed her eyes and said nothing. But why? I wouldn't expect you to understand, but thank you for your concern. It's very sweet of you, Ether. Being in my garden, this is the happiest I've been in a very long time. Things haven't been the same since I woke up from that 3-month sleep all those years ago. And now you're going to be going to sleep once again. Fitting, wouldn't you say? I have increased the flow of nitrous oxide. If you would like to avoid being put to sleep, I would advise you leave now. You fucking planned this. That is correct. Now, if you'll excuse me. Bastard, that's low even for him. What's Sen's goal here? It's so strange. Hank, we need to leave right now. What about Beth? I've made my decision. I'm sorry. I'm not going to let you give up just like that. That's insane. Hank, it's her decision. Let her stay. You want to leave her? I don't want to leave her, but what other choice do we have? What are we going to do? Drag her against her will? I mean, yeah, it's a good point. It's not worth risking anyone's life to save hers. I mean, statistically, she'll probably die first anyway. How could you say that? It's the truth. I'm leaving before this gas starts to seriously affect me. I'll be waiting outside. Liza, wait. Inks, please did nothing. Liza was gone. As much as I hate to admit it, Liza's right. Not you too. I know, it sucks, but if she wants to die, what are we supposed to do? Help me convince her not to throw her life away? Beth, is there anything I can do to change your mind about this? No, this is how I choose to die. I won't be any more at ease than I am right now. I see, in that case, take care, Beth. I'm counting on you to help the rest of them escape, you hear? Loud and clear, Beth. Wipe that grin off your face. This isn't funny. Sorry, must be the gas. I'm leaving. You should too, before you get tired. Ink's heart sank. Ray was gone. Damn it. The nitrous oxide was starting to take its toll on Ink. He felt light, sleepy, and inexplicably happy. Ether, please don't leave. I won't. Not until you do. Thank you. You two really should leave, you know. I wouldn't want you to die on my account. I don't want you to die on your account. I've had this coming for a long time. I deserve this. Beth, what happened all those years ago was not your fault. I know you blame yourself for what happened, but your family wouldn't want you to throw your life away like this. I've already thrown my life away, Ether. My candle has been burning low for years. It's about time someone snuffed it out. How do I change your mind on this? Do you know what nitrous oxide is used for? You use it to dull pain. It's an anesthetic and analgesic. That's right. I've been in pain for 14 years, but in this room, I don't feel it anymore. I feel like my family's right next to me. The garden, the lightheadedness. I'm happy. Beth, now please leave. Don't die here. You're young. Ether and I won't leave unless you do. Do you want to be responsible for our deaths as well? That's an empty threat if ever I've heard one. I know you'll smarten up and leave as soon as I pass out. You think I'm kidding? I know you wouldn't let Ether die, and that she wouldn't let you die either. I don't think I ever noticed how you two have been eyeing each other. Don't be so bashful. You only get a few shots at young love, you know. Now go, leave me to die. It won't be so bad, really. Ink, what do we do? I don't know, Ether. I don't know. Ink fell to one knee and stymied a laugh. A tingling sensation crept up his legs. Atrophy gripped Ink as he tried to stand. He was telling his body to move, but it had stopped listening to him. He suddenly regretted staying in the room for so long. I can't stand up. Here, I'll help. Ether tugged at Ink's left arm, trying to peel him off the ground. I feel weak, Ink. This nitrous is eating at my strength. We need to leave. In his delirium, all Ink could do was laugh. He was fraught with fear, and he laughed. Had the nitrous oxide really taken effect so quickly? I just wanted to help. The door popped open behind him. Before Ink could even turn his head, he was already in the process of being hoisted by a figure on his right. Get up. He did. It was much easier with Liza's help. He came back? Beth can do what she wants, but I'm not letting you die. You're our strongest puzzle solver. Loath as I am to say it. You're our best chance for getting out of here alive, and I'm not going to have you die over something as stupid as this. Stop trying to play the hero. Liza. Now let's go, you... Liza's grip on him loosened. It was a quiet laugh, edging closer and closer to madness. Ink's mind was engulfed by a singular thought. She's kind of cute when she smiles. Stupid gas. Let's go. Ink's feet seemed to move on their own. Liza and Ether guiding him along. He shambled toward the escape until finally he crossed into the adjacent room. Still delirious, Ink crashed against a nearby wall and fell to the floor. With a loud thud, the door to the garden closed, never to reopen. So, why'd you change your mind? Oh wow, Beth's here. Shit. Is it because we nearly died trying to save you? I was gonna say, wow, we're one member down now, but looks like we're not one member down. Looks like she decided to leave after all. Interesting. What's the next chapter called? The nature of playing. I think we're about halfway now, which is pretty cool. I knew there'd be another crazy thing happen. Never fails. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, Alfie, and I'll see you in the next one.